Here's the trunk. I put in one coat so far of the black mason. I tell you, you can't see nothing in there. Once I've aired the place out a little bit, so when I get sprayed, I mean, it's going to be heavy because you can't see anything. You might actually have to wear a mask. Got it all taped off. In here in the kitchen, there's the trunk hinges. I'm in here keeping them from getting overspraying them in the kitchen until I'm going to try a little clear on a part of it and see if it takes okay. And if it does, then I'm going to clear them. It's also experimental for the bottom side of the spark plug wire shrouds. But I showed you, they're primed and ready to go. I'm not sure how it's going to, the compressor just kicked on. Inside the truck, there's all sorts of impurities. I only see one spot here. It looks like it was kind of what they call fish eyeing. That might be a little bit because of the oil from the... I really wiped this out good with gas and cleaned it. Sometimes I do this. Just mix it up and tack it a little bit. And mix it all in. I'll make sure you let it sit a little bit longer. And we'll give her one more shot. There's only one way of doing the voltage regulator cover. You gotta hold that right in your hand. That's where gloves come in nice. First light does. If I try to set it on something, it'd blow it right off onto the floor. Got the trunk painted. Look how much that shines. Unbelievable. I couldn't see, so I really just laid it on her. It's going to take a while to really dry. Look at that's a reflector of the light in there. That's it's all the jobs that what you don't care that much about comes out the best. Reminds me when I used to prepare a demo car. Somebody just mix up whatever old paint we had on the shelf and just shoot it quick just to make something. And the paint jobs came out really good, just to smash it up. Voltage regulator cover looks good. That piece is good. How shiny these front calipers are. The lines, everything's cleared. Shocks, springs, all the little. Got lots of pieces to assemble. And there we go. Here's some more of those lines. I cleared them. Same with these here. This one was in bad shape. I don't know if you could see it up on top here. How thin it was from the acid from the battery for years. Still hanging on. I did put that right in the whole gallon of muriatic acid to really get the rust out of her. Still good. And my starter over here. That beauty. And the oil pan. Painted some colors of the engine and cleared it. Shouldn't touch it too much so it's really hardened. For the real die-hard Avanti Studebaker viewers, through the years, the Avanti, after so many years changing shocks, they lose all the original hardware. So I'm pretty sure these are the originals. One side on the car had these. They had like these locks. So once these go through the lower control arm, then that goes on there and holds it in place for you, even though it's got these shoulders that hold in the lower control arms, I believe you call them. And then, let's see, yeah, that goes through, this goes on. Then it had these like tabs. Then, I think these are factory washers. I hate to say it, but they're like 3/8, not 5/16. Too sloppy. You put them on there. I think this is like the original nut. I'm sure a lot of you know. Just I'm not sure what the identification you would say this. It's like 5/16 nut. See, it's got those little what I call the jagged ninja washer kind of mounted onto it. I think that's a nice original. That might be the original one. But through the years, I think they lost the other one, and so I put one of these on. I hate these. I guess I call these. I don't see it good or not. I think you call these like castle nut, or the tops are all crimped in a little bit, so it's self-tightening. Oh, I hate those. Just like nylon. Oh, I hate nylon ones. You got to turn it all in hard. The lock washer is always the best. It holds the bowl a little bit as you tighten her down. So I'm going to improve on that a little bit. I don't like these guys. I'll throw them in the George's Studebaker original stuff bolts. And I've already got some, I'm going to put on these real 5/16 washers. I'm going to use a real lock washer. I might use that original one. I got to think of that one. I'm not going to use that guy. I'm not going to throw him out. I don't want to mix in with this. The other side, they had some they were all over the place. I got a couple of bolts I had there. So I went to hardware and got these. These are coarse thread. And these are fine thread originally. These will work nicely. Actually a little longer. I like that. Same thing. Flat, lock, nuts. And also in restorations and whatnot, like I have an extra lens now. Well, I shouldn't say extra. Took one from George's car. So I have a right headlight lens. But these things are so rare. I have no idea what a price would be on these. But I did put in good cardboard and duct tape are good. And I'll try to put that in a safe place in George's car for Avanti storage parts. A little bit more shock talk. The old one was called a Monroe Matic, made in Brazil. It says install this end down. Okay. I just want to point this out to you because I already put the new one on, but on the new one, I noticed something of interest. Is it says top on it. Okay. It says made in Mexico. At least it wasn't made in China. That says caution. Do not heat. You can't read it down there. I already put the shock on. Do not heat or open. Now, believe me, there is some truth to that because I guess open means don't be cutting it open because there's pressure in there. But years ago, I threw an old shock in the bonfire down in the woods. We were having a party. And oh my God, the thing blew up and it shot across the woods 20, 30 feet. I was like, oh boy, if I would have hit somebody or something. And then years later, I heard a report where someone was killed. That very same type of incident. Somehow an old shot got thrown in the fire. They're burning, and somebody got killed. So yes, do not heat. Don't throw these in the fire. Dispose of them properly. I cleaned the wheel bearings months ago. I even marked them. Left front, and the other one's right front. So I cleaned them real good, and then plus I have them soaking in gas. Here's the right front. Unfortunately, during the dismantling and sandblasting, I can't remember. Didn't mark them. Which one's the left or right or left. So I guess it doesn't matter anymore. But it would have been a good idea if you can to try, if you're going to just clean bearings and repack them, try to put them right back in the same race that they were on the vehicle. Now, I hate knocking races out. And so I'm going to look these over, and if they look pretty good, if I don't see any real scoring, in this area, and the bearings seem pretty good, they don't look worn. I'm just going to repack them and put them back together. Even though they have mixed up from the race they were on, it might actually average things out. And I have new seals. This is an old one. I washed it anyhow, just in case I have to make a comparison. There's the new ones. Right now I'm packing the wheel bearing. Put some on your hand. Everything's really clean. They think grease is bad, but see how, there you go. See that? When it starts to ooze through there. Then you take your thing and carefully move it over. Do a little more. Oh, she's coming through there. She has, ooh. See that? Do it until it squishes through. Take a little time. It's the way I was taught by Ron Peterson, Bosie's mechanics teacher over in Mount Morris, New York. Ron Peterson, pretty cool guy. Already got the gist of it. Right? Take up a little time. Yeah, let's push it through. See, that's it. Ron Peterson, Mr. Peterson was a pretty cool guy. Yeah. I fell asleep in class. One of my buddies, Bosie, thought it was pretty funny to put an unlit cigarette in my mouth when he wasn't looking. So he's teaching the class. The guy said he just kind of walked over, pulled it out of my mouth, put it in his pocket. A little while later, I kind of So I woke up, people were kind of laughing. And the other teacher be all like, "Who did that? Who put that cigarette in his mouth? Oh my God!" Oh, there you go. See, pretty nice. Then, yes, your hands are kind of greasy, but it should be a neat procedure. Bring it over here. Drop it in the back of that one. Okay, so on and so forth. One thing I was going to add, even Ron said, once you get all done, so some of the old timers, you kind of try to scrape it back into the grease can, huh? Like this here, try to get it all that excess off. Because then a lot of the old timers today, just rub it in your hands, a little bit's on your hand. Seems gooey and sticky, but kind of medicates them from all the gas and oils you work on from your vehicle. Okay, now we're going to get all the bearings packed and on, and yeah, let's do a front one. If any black comes through, that means you didn't wash them very good with gas. See it? See how she's squishing through real nice? Kind of hard to turn the camera on and off with my hands all grease. There you go. And what excess I had on my hands, I rubbed. I'm not going to take the camera over there. I rubbed the spindles, rubbed around the spindles, and then around where the seal is going. Let's do an old Ron Peterson hand cleaning there. It says it cleans a little bit too. Oh, that feels good. All right, now I'll get a rag and clean this off. Looking pretty good, huh? Sometimes these are a little tricky. See how she goes. I hate getting on it like that, but sure it's about even all the way around. Got it started. Nice. That one's kind of tight. I think it's bottomed out. Let's see how the other one acts. Oh, there she goes. No fixing these. I'd have to order some more. And what a mess it'd be to get it off. Doing wheel bearings always frustrates me. I've already worked them a little bit. See, it kind of snugging, then I spin a little bit. See how she feels. Doesn't really grab or anything. Feels pretty good. As soon as I record, they say you should snug them right up good, then back them off a quarter a turn or something. Oh, but you have to make sure the cotter key's lined up. How did that turn out? All right, we'll give it a little bit more. The old cotter keys are small. I didn't like them. They're sloppy. These are a little snug. I know they did go in there. There's give it a little tap. Uh-oh. That's pretty darn tight. Ooh, there she is. That looks all right. Just gotta bend them up. They have a look neat. On these caps, spent a lot of time getting the dents out of these carefully with a small ball peen hammer. Came out pretty nice. But how are they going to go on there? I'm going to try with this here first. That feels pretty good. Another major hurdle almost completed. The front disc brakes, yay! But they keep telling me it's back ordered on getting the flex line. It goes behind there and up here up on the top of the frame. Say it's back ordered. At some point I have to find another supplier and cancel. They couldn't tell me when. Okay, well that was okay. So that's a big deal. Got the front brakes all together. Except for the flex line. All my license plate mounts are in really bad shape. They're like a rubber, like a brass insert, machine thread. All three of them are really rough. And good old George, he had three of them. Look how bad they're just, these are distorted. Of course, the outside diameter is a little different. The license plate comes against it, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how that goes in just about now. Put a little oil on them. Okay. Oh, there she goes. Oh man, isn't that nice? See how they work. License plate comes up against those. And fortunately, my machine threaded screws, my old ones, are in pretty good shape. I cleaned them up good. So that's how that works. George's mounts didn't have any screws in them, which is okay. At this time I'm going to do a little reenactment because I felt I should share this with you. As my friend Red White would say, let me show you a trick I learned in Vietnam. When you have some black paint mixed up or clear, often with small parts, just dip them in like this. Shake them a little bit, wait a little bit, hang them up. Remember this guy? And if it's too long or big like that, you can kind of lay in there a little bit. Take one of these hooks. You do that, and you do the other end. Put it in there, bring it up, shake it up. Do it with the black with hardener, and then later on do it with the clear with hardener. And I put a paper on the floor, preferably the sports section. Then you go back after a little bit if you're painting, and sometimes I'll take a screwdriver or something of this nature, because you'll get a little drip on the edges. You guys catch it just right, you can wipe them off. I had to bring that to your attention. I want to go off one more time on automotive spray guns. Whatever the benefits of this type of gun, do not exceed the benefits of this type of gun, in my opinion. Why kids like to use this crappy thing, I have no idea. Professionals use them all over the freaking world. For example, I paid over $200 for this at Auto Parts paint supply, and they didn't even offer this type of gun, whatever you want to call it. They're just so crappy. Oh, you gotta pop this thing out. Here you're trying to hold it and get the paint into it and make sure it popped down there. And it's plastic, so I think it does swell a little bit after a while with lacquer thinners and whatnot. And then once it's on there, after painting, you want to set it down, you can't unless you find something to hook it on to keep it while you're doing in between the painting. So it just sucks. Ugh. This one is the old timer one, like the one I like. You can take this off. Look, you can. A lot of times I mix it right in here. I don't even use a filter most of the time. Just sometimes I mix or add a little more hardener or reducer to it. You just stir it right in there. And also it was great. And I used to. There's one right here. There right here. You can dip it right here. Don't waste any. Right there, see it? Ooh. And hang it up somewhere. So I'd have to find, it's hard to find it actually. I got this one out of Napa for $50. Works pretty good. So there's my thing on the spray guns. I just like the way they work. And this one here, when you're painting, you want to set it down for a minute, just take that off, put it on a flat surface. Of course, it's very flat. Cadillac hood isn't very flat, somewhat flat. All right, there again, there's the paints like this. That's good stuff there. Harder. To each his own. We enjoyed your feedback here at Briggs Garage and Restoration. A subscriber writes, "Dear Ira, you big dope. Though I enjoy your videos, you really should invest in a good microphone because your voice is often muffled. You're a faithful subscriber." Well, since I dropped the camera, which is about $300. Ever since then, our exterior microphone will not operate. I'll try to be I'll speak more clear and louder until we can afford another one. All my funds at this time are tied up in this Avanti and other projects. If you want to send me some more money to get another camera, you big dope, I'll be gladly accept it. Well, here we are, on to another adventure. We gotta get over this Avanti. I want to break these screws off. I probably won't break the screws, but I'll break the plastic because it's old. You gotta be real patient. Sure. It's coming. It's an awful feel when that pops off of there. I think maybe the plastic snapped. I hate putting oil in there because here, you put the vice grips on there, and the oil makes the vice grips slip off. Oh, here she goes. She's on her way now. Look at that. Look at that. Oh man, we got it. We got it. We've already done all the other ones. Yeah. So we gotta screw up and go with that carefully. Come on, I got her tight. Ah! They're cleaning. Oh, what's this? Oh man, I can't wait to wash that lens up. Really dirty. Ooh, look at that. Here we go. We reassembled the trunk lid to the car, and I taped it off and painted the trunk backup light inserts. And now I'm working on the harness a little bit, cleaning it up. A lot of the old tape was all peeled off and getting rough, and good thing I took it off to find out that well, the wires were broke. So I restripped them. I'm going to fasten them back together. And another thing that works a little bit nice when you got overspray on them, sometimes you got to shave them when it gets old. And just shave it off. I'm going to work on the carpet a little bit today. Somebody's replaced the floor carpet. Looks good. It's around the edges that are they're a little bit faded. So this stuff works pretty good. I've used it in the past. Vinyl and fabric. Kind of got the satin finish. Works pretty good. We're just going to doll it up. I'm not going to replace all the layering is thick. Yeah, there you go. More there. I feel like that Bob the painter guy. Alright, now it's that little, yeah. I'll give it something there nice. Yeah. I've used it before. It's good stuff. Though some Avanti guys might find some of this of interest, we have to move this project along. Get on to some more fun playlists. Let's see, ordered some lenses and some gaskets for the backup lights. My lenses weren't too good, or the backup, or the gaskets. Tail lights. I'm waiting for some gaskets for those. They were in pretty rough shape. So I'm waiting for those. We're doing a little bit on the interior. These are the carpet off the sides of, we'll call it the shifting tunnel. And they're glue. They were falling off and looking kind of skanky. So what we did here was, even from assembly, they had this little trim on here. See it? Kind of flopping around. So I just carefully trimmed it off. Gone. See? So that way the glue will adhere better when I put her back on. I'm going to clean up a little more. And here's the other. Look at that flopping around like that. Oh yeah, there again. Bring that down. Look how it overhangs there. So I'm going to trim that off real nice so it goes right along the edge there. I'm going to trim that off. Then we're going to use this really good glue, good stuff. Looks pretty rough. Here's one I've completed. Looks pretty nice. Look at that. Huh? Isn't that nice? Instead of replacing the carpet, I'd rather have the originals anyhow. I washed these all good down with the gas on the rag around the edges. Just washed it good. Gas on the sock. Excuse me. And then I taped off the edge all the way around. We'll see that quick. Oh, then they had these. Almost got in the picture there. You might see if I'm nude. They had these skanky things on there. Look at that rusty old. You see, where are we here? These rusty old screws on there. Oh, actually, I had a chrome one on there. That's crap. See, look at this. Huh? You had some of these original. What do you call these? Like carpet screws or hold downs. So they got that little collar on them. Can you see that? See that? Look, it's got some paint on that one because his was white at one time, it was turquoise and they painted it white. So that's cool. This is original stuff. And so can't wait to clean those up. And then I'm going to use those to replace the old rusty skanky ones. Okay, here's another tidbit. My friend Red learned in Vietnam. If you have old ashtrays, or often ashtrays are really rusty inside. They aren't really plated good, and they get some moisture over the years. They rust. So there again, acid. Fill them up with acid. Let them sit overnight. Then next day, dump it back into the acid container and wash them out. I even sometimes take a little fine sandpaper, kind of get in there if you can. And then get my silver paint, like this. Spray the paint right in there. Get right up there close to the nozzle. And get it, and then when there's a lot in there, you roll it around. I spared it, showing you all that. Then make sure you have it flat, let it set so it all flows in the bottom. Gas on a sock, go around the edges, clean it up without getting any gas and getting into the sides. And look at, there they are. They come out pretty decent. Till some dumbass freaking puts a cigarette out. Most shouldn't be smoking anymore. There you go. Yay, that looks cool. I'm going to show you a little trim here. See how this all wrinkled up? You got to kind of hold it in there nice and flat like that. Bob the painter guy. I really favor this 3M Super 77 glue. The problem is you have to really be patient. Get a glove on like this. Lay it right in there. You gotta walk it along. See, I gotta get the wrinkles out. Make sure you get it on there good. Lay it in. Don't worry about giving it to her. You have to give it to her. There you go. Lay it right in there. Supposed to wear this thing a little more often. But with this glue, you have to let it really just leave it alone. Walk away a half hour or two. But I always get impatient when you can touch it and it doesn't stick, you're pretty much ready to lay it down. But if you do it before that, it won't work. Give it a check. Not yet. Not yet. Still a bit. Gotta be patient. It's ready. Just a tad sticky, but not touching, coming off on your finger. Just took this off right now. So let's see what to do here. Okay. Very gently move it up. See, it had some wrinkles in it there. Yes. Oh, see where it come down on it? Cheat a little bit. Work it out. I hope you can see this good. See? Looking for how many years that fold was right there. Where I was, now when I glue this onto the tunnel. Hope I'm not wasting your time too much. Work it out, baby. Work it out. Yeah. Here we go. Here we go. I'm going to get that fold down a little bit. Hopefully that will take a little bit for the black part. Okay, there's one side. I'm not going to bore you with the other one. Just as I started this turn the camera on here, the roof actually dripped on my camera. Unbelievable. It's raining, obviously. Look at, it's driving me crazy, this restoration. But I feel like I have to share the pain with you with how much time goes into just doing a decent restoration. So wrap this up. Here's the gaskets I got for the back side. Not bad, but I'm going to have to use I got to get just the right glue to attach that. The gasket for the lens, not bad. I like that. Fits good. George's little reflection light, somewhere from, see these? That goes right in this spot right here. From Studebaker, they kind of have like almost a polished background. I don't know, can't wait when it's all together to see if it really makes a difference or not in reflecting. When they were assembled, they used a thin two-way tape. But it was all deteriorated, so I took that off. I'm going to have to put a couple drops of glue. Here's the best stuff here I like to use for some projects. You put it on a piece of cardboard, mix a little bit with my little screwdriver, and put a dab on there. This is good stuff. Okay, all that taillight stuff said, and I don't like these type of foam. That's what they used at Studebaker, though, and that's the one they gave me. and I'm okay with it, I guess. It took a long time to clean and scrape all that out, and then wipe it with gas. And my taillights are in fair, I'll say fair to good condition. The chrome's okay. It's got pits on the bottom, can't see it. But I'm not going to re-chrome those, and so that's good. Okay, got all that for now. And, and something else I like to in doing any kind of projects, I like to hear some music. So every time I do a film, I have to shut the radio off, because it's good to be in a nice frame of mind when you work on these kind of things. It's supposed to be relaxing. So like Bob Seger and ELO and Ray Charles and Benny Goodman and Joe Cocker, any Joe Cocker. So if any family member of these people deceased or alive, contact me. Tell me I can use some of your songs. Squeeze a little bit on there, on the cardboard, about how much you think you're going to use. Mix it up real good with this. I usually use a little screwdriver. So you're starting to get a little bit. So it gives you enough time to do what you got to do before it really sets up. But you haven't got to wait all day. Here we go. Where are we here? There, because this is getting sort of set up. Put a little bit on this one side. There's like a little ridge there for one side of the lens. It's got to be kind of neat because it's kind of sticky. Let me see here. I'm going to get some right here that's got a nice, that's where the other side. That there's a little bit corroded away there. Okay, got that done. Yep, here we go. Now these lenses of George, they do have like a, let me see the light, I want to get in the light here. They do have a line across there, so it's like a reflector. So it can be just thrown in on any old way. I'm trying to get the reflector, I'm in the light here to get it on there straight. And using glue with lenses, it's like when you were a kid doing a model. That'd be neat about it. You get that glue on plastic, can't clean it back off. Oh, I like that. Yeah. Whoa. Put another little dab right there. Just even when you get like a pit. I've been through this with my father restoring old cars. That's the other one. There's a pit right there. Oh, I should have had light on. There's a pit right there. You can re-chrome. They can take them out, but they have a hard time filling those if they're real bad. This one might not have been so bad. You can see on the back here how it's starting to see how she's getting. See that? I'm actually going to rub a little oil on this before I put it on the car. Just soak a little oil into where all that, call it pot metal, whatever.